maybe changing text, but you can see the full mariojbell.com. And of course, I'm going to put a link with Dr. Aaron Ozee in his book, which he's promoting right now, right here. Can you see that? I don't know. Timothy Tiger, can we see that? I think we can see it. Timothy Timber right there. And did we cover everything? I feel like we covered everything that you're doing. Well, you got anything new going on?
Well, you know, I am really excited because next year, so Regulus, you know, obviously the book that I'm most known for, that was adapted into a stage play. And so that will be premiering in Canada next summer. So
the name of that one again is
Regulus.
So it's a movie on Amazon.
Yep.
Now going to be developed in a stage play.
Right.
Will you produce and direct that, or is that you hand it over to like a theater company?
So there is a co-playwright that I have involved with the project named Brian Lang-Lotson.
Okay.
He is up in Winnipeg, Canada. And him and I together have joined forces to bring that to the stage and, you know, entertain audiences in a different way.
That is awesome. And that'll again will be up in Canada.
Yes.
That is so awesome. You are doing so many things. I mean, I'm glad that you took time to come here, but it's great. He might be working with Peter Dante on the children's book, but he's based right here in the Midwest, right in Chicago. So if you know you want to go see him at a convention, you definitely will probably see him in the Chicago area, won't we?
Yes, you definitely will.
So thank you so much for being here again, Dr. Aaron Ozee, who is doing so many things. Look at this; he's going to have a play. Libby, we're going to go to Canada.
Okay.
Maybe I won't come back. I don't know if I can come back. I got things on my record, but I'm a citizen. I should be able to come back. But anyway,
not.
Yeah, right. Libby will just do the show. But anyway, we'll have to go see it live when it premieres up in, again, where?
Canada, in Winnipeg, Canada.
In Winnipeg. All right. So it was great having you. Thank you very much for being here. And enduring the hot studio in the suit. It was great. And we will see you next week here on another edition of Bell and Company.
Trump sucks.
Bye, Libby.
Bye.
The preceding program, Bell and Company, was sponsored by Mario J. Bell and, to the extent applicable, their guests. The views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of Heartland Signal LLC or its management.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Hey folks, it's Richard Chu, also known as Vad, the Black Asian dude. Yes, we're on the family meeting, but right now, you've probably heard about my new show, Choose Views, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on WCPT. Choose Views is about pragmatic, progressive conversation with a bit of smash mouth talk. Tune in 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday on WCPT, Progressive Talk.
The following program, The Family Meeting, is sponsored by Polaris Insurance Agency, and to the extent applicable, their guests. The views and opinions expressed therein do not necessarily reflect those of Heartland Signal, LLC, or its management.
Hi, my name is Audra Wilson, and I'm the President and CEO of the Schreiber Center on Poverty Law. You can visit us at www.povertylaw.org. Hey, cousins. Now it's time for the Family Meeting News.
I'm Michelle Peltier, and here's what we're following on the family meeting. Many Illinois homeowners soon their home insurance rates skyrocket due to the weather event. State Farm is raising funds
Cousins. As you know, we've created a Patreon family meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the family meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
Hi, this is Jeff Lee, Eric's boy from HU. I listen to the family meeting.
Hello, this is Kevin Pitts of Performance Consulting Group, and that is performanceconsultinggrp.com. And I will always listen to the family meeting.
Yeah, y'all. Welcome to the Worldwide Hit Center, the family meeting. It is family meeting. Find us on social media, like, subscribe, and follow us on all those things. Michelle forgot her glasses.
People
Put mine on and follow me. Also, be sure to visit our webpage, that's tfmradioshow.com. You'll find archive broadcasts there and the this is the website, TFM Radio. I'm in Facebook, how to control everything. I think
Dirty Top. Hi.
Dirty Top. So thanks so much for
Even though you don't listen to
it. Couldn't see.
What does that have to do with his hearing?
Because you were doing the news, Adrian was on the screen. He couldn't
Oh, is that what happened?
Change. Yeah, my glass. My dirty glass.
Oh, man.
Easy fella. Hey, listen, while you're on that webpage, radioshow.com, make sure you become a patron. There's $5. Keep us on the air. That's TFM. The line's number 773 with us today is our boy drunk ass Adrian.
Yay.
Yeah, fresh off of foolishness. It's foolishness.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, man. How old are you now?
I don't remember.
Oh, see how old he is? He can't remember how old he is. He managed to live long enough to not even remember how old he is, and he's gonna mess it all up by getting in a damn hot air balloon.
Very scary, but
It was somebody else's bucket list. So,
What's that got to do
yes,
with you, man?
it was her bucket list.
What's that got to do with you,
Wine
man?
country in California and a hot air balloon. So we did two things on her bucket list.
well, see, he's like the perfect husband.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Come on and kill yourself, honey.
At least they'd be together.
Come on here and kill yourself, honey.
I
That's what we like. We like you to kill yourself.
I dragged her through the jungles of the Dominican Republic on
This
zip lines.
loving couple.
Oh, what?
Let's just expose each
So-
other's
See,
danger.
that's some love. That is
Yeah.
some love.
I want to love you
didn't
forever
risk our
and
lives
expose
together.
you to danger. That's what I want to do.
She didn't say nothing but okay, honey. So what was I going to
See,
say?
that's partnership. What?
She
That's
wanted
what
to
I'm talking about.
Fool ass.
No.
Fool ass business. That's what that is.
No, they're just adventurous.
That's some
I
fool ass
love it.
business. I don't get that, man.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's what you do. See, that's what partnership looks like. That's what I think.
We're creating memories.
See, oh,
Is that right?
That's right.
Is that right?
look at his little face. It's so cute.
Mm.
He's beaming.
Oh, goodness.
Is that what that is?
It is.
Yeah. Okay.
Love is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go kill ourselves, hon. Let's
Well,
go do something dangerous.
they would be together.
Okay, it's your life, man. Come on.
And he's here.
Bye,
They're
man.
back. They're
Yeah, by the skin of the-
unscathed.
Yeah, barely though. Barely.
We're going to go dive with the sharks next.
There you go, man. There you go. Oh, that's wonderful. That's just wonderful. Man, he'd be the first black man eaten by a shark.
You see, I'm not saying anything. I'm just sitting here
that's-
because I can't.
We
Go,
are
I
not
just can't
doing
go
that.
out with you on that one.
We are not doing
We'll
that.
do that. We'll
Why
do
not?
that. Hey, man, let me get something straight here. So, there's all this talk about the flood in Texas, right?
Mm.
And you've heard some people saying that's what you get, because they didn't take the money from Biden to put
Well,
in.
they took the money. They just used it for something else.
Well, okay, they didn't use the money when they were supposed to, so that they could help, give an opportunity to prevent
Mhm.
this problem from happening.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't come back now after voting for that dude and supporting him up to this point and have a disaster and then come around. To hell with you. I'm not saying you deserved it. I'm not saying your kids deserved it.
Gotcha.
But no.
Gotcha.
No.
Oh, you're saying they can't come around even though they're trying to come around.
No, you can't, because you were okay with everything up to this point. And then you got harmed.
Right, until it affected you. You don't really care about other people. You care about you and yours. And once you're in the mix of the danger and the death and then you want to cry and scream and say, I'm sorry. I mean, I can't tell you how many videos I've seen of people crying, saying that they regret.
No, not my problem.
I feel nothing.
Yeah, nothing. In fact, I still wish you the absolute worst outcome in life.
And now I do not do that, but I just feel nothing. I don't wish harm or bad things on anyone. But if it happens to you,
So if someone was wishing harm on you, you still wouldn't wish harm on them?
what other people think of me is none of my business. I
Okay,
don't care.
I agree with that. But my question was, if someone wishes harm on you, you don't wish the same for them?
No.
Adrian's contemplating it.
I mean, why? Why would I want, why?
No, I'm not contemplating it. You know what my answer is.
Everybody can die.
Scorched earth.
Yeah.
It
goodbye.
always is.
Yeah.
But the thing that I find most compelling about this is on the whole money issue is you had elected officials saying that they didn't want to take this federal money because it would have meant that they would have been beholden to the federal government and would have had to done things that the federal government wanted them to do if they took this money.
They did take the money.
I know, but that's what they say out in public, right? But so they took it, but didn't do with it what
it was allocated
right.
for, which I thought was against the law.
But
I
they
think it's just
sat up.
sitting. They didn't use it at all. It's just
Yeah,
sitting.
but they just sat there and said, "Well, no, we're not taking this money because we don't want to be beholden to the federal government." And it's just like, but your constituencies put you in office for their well-being, and part of their well-being would have been for you to take that money and put it to use to keep this kind of disaster from happening.
That's right.
Adrian, they're not public servants anymore.
I understand. I'm just saying in the context of how all of this is supposed to work.
Right. I mean,
That's all.
in my lifetime, I've never known a state to turn down emergency aid.
Well, that's the polarization of the left and the right, and as Eric would put it, the gangs.
Right. That's because these elected officials don't understand what they're there for anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, I agree. Many of them don't. Yeah.
So I was watching CBS, the morning show. You ever seen the Sunday morning show that they do? It's kind of a news-ish, 60 minutes pitch kind of a show.
That's how
You ever seen
me
it?
and Stella start our Sundays.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I'd have to y'all go up in the damn.
That's right.
They're so cute.
We didn't do it that that Sunday because we were up in air balloon.
We start our Sundays with Sunday morning.
I love it so much.
She likes the feel good stories.
That is
So every Sunday, that's her bucket list,
is
is
so
to get up and
incredibly-
watch Sunday morning.
So incredibly kissy face.
I know. I love it
Kissy
so
face.
much.
You know what? I'm going to keep you out of my
It
business.
is horrible.
He took all the bass out of his
Adrian is just romantic.
You see how he took all the bass out of his voice when he said it?
I'm
How
going to
do you like to start our morning?
I'm going to keep you out of my business. Oh my God. Oh my God.
He actually really
Yeah,
did.
he took the bass out of his voice. So my boy, check this out. You like this, Adrian?
No, I won't.
My Ace Boone Coon, my man, Will, who lives in Atlanta, right? He has 3 girls, and we have the nickname we have for him is Killer. We call him Killer. We've
Okay.
been calling him Killer for 30 years.
Before the girls came?
Then he had girls.
Okay.
So he's on the phone, yo, man, he's cussing and yo, man, whatever. And then one of the girls says something, yes, honey.
He ain't right. He ain't ready.
All the bass got out of his voice.
He ain't ready.
I love that so much.
He ain't ready.
We like to start our morning.
We do. That's how we start our
A cup
morning.
of tea.
That's how we start our
I was
morning.
going to ask that actually.
She likes the feel good stories. We watch the feel good stories.
That's right. You better.
They're so cute.
Yeah. Kissy faced.
Mm-mm-mm.
So you watched it this morning then?
If we
They
did,
talked about the Louisiana Purchase.
we did.
Okay, what stood out to you?
The thing that stood out to me about the Louisiana Purchase is Napoleon sold a bunch of land to the United States that was already inhabited by a bunch of people
That he
that
didn't
had
own.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that was already inhabited by a bunch of people that had nothing to say in the sale
Wait a minute. You said Napoleon sold it,
to the United States for
But
$15 million.
but he didn't own it.
France owned everything from Louisiana up through almost the Dakotas.
Okay.
They claimed ownership of it.
Yeah. And all,
Okay.
all of that was called the Louisiana Territory, named after King Louis the whatever number.
Louis, right.
Yeah,
King
after
Louis.
King Louis.
Right.
That's where Louisiana came from.
So, anything else stand out to you?
That you had a bunch of Native Americans that were there and had nothing to do with the sale of the purchase.
See how they
and
just passed over
they,
that part?
They just, yeah.
They mentioned it, though. I'll give them
Yeah.
that. They mentioned it.
Yeah.
That it was highly populated by Native Americans.
Right.
But what struck me was it was a Trump type of deal.
Yeah.
It was almost as if Michelle showed me the building she lives in,
Mm-hmm.
and she don't own the damn building.
Mhm.
And I sold it to you.
And I gave her $27 million for the building.
And they did it without the president saying yes.
Absolutely. It was a couple of
They were-
ombudsmen that went
Yeah.
out there and did it,
Yeah.
signed for it.
So how was the transaction able to go through completion?
That's the other part. How is it?
Right.
How is it a thing now if it wasn't done by the president?
Right. So they signed on the dotted line to make the purchase for the United States without the president really knowing that it was going down, but they wanted to purchase it before Napoleon could change his mind and back out of the deal.
Wow.
Right. 27 million, I think it was, right?
15 million.
15 million.
It was what was it? 10 cents an acre or 50 cents an acre? Came to $15 million
Right.
back then.
So so France sold land to this country that they didn't own,
Mm-hmm.
and this country bought it. So
Yep.
they fell for the banana in the tailpipe.
And
Right.
then proceeded to slaughter Native Americans on their own land.
Right. They could have just went and took it, but
Yeah.
But the part that was conspicuously absent though was the reason Napoleon had to sell it,
Yes.
because he had just taken a major defeat in Haiti,
Mm.
and he needed the money
for the war machine
to continue to fight off the Haitians who were kicking his ass. That's the part they skipped over.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about. They said they needed money for his war effort, but they didn't say anything about it being because the Haitians
Kicking
had a
his ass.
foot in the butt.
Right.
There's
So-
so much missing and everything.
Right. So it's a major contribution to the fairy tale.
Yes.
Right. So I think they were almost bragging about by quoting they paid per acre
Mhm.
on a terrific purchase they made.
Yeah.
You can't buy that land. They don't even own it. How you gonna buy from somebody
Right.
that don't own it?
Yeah. You could have simply said, okay, Napoleon, if you own this, come and hold it down. Bring your troops and hold down all of this.
Right. So then, given that, and we know the pillaging and the genocide that took place after that, but
Right.
I mean, does this country really own that?
Yeah, because this country says they do.
Well, and that's the only reason.
That's the only reason, yeah.
But if you were to look at it legally and someone
No.
would make lay claim, you didn't have the authorization of the president.
Well, see, that's the interesting thing is they brought about this whole thing of I have a document that says I own this, and Native people didn't have, from what I understand, the concept of ownership
No,
of
they
land.
They don't own land. They
Yeah,
live
and it
on
was the same thing with people in the different diasporas of Africa, right?
Right.
We were just
We
a
don't
part
own
of the land. We don't own it. We're a part of it. It was the Europeans that had this concept of I own this, and if you live on it, you also are my property. Just evil.
Really is. Really
Mhm.
is. Yeah.
See how that works? Mm-hmm. Wonder, don't it?
No,
Wonder what?
You read the history, it don't make you wonder.
This is what it makes me wonder. So you got people who purposely distort the history, who bolster the fairy tale.
Yes.
It's the people who you expect to be fair-minded, to be journalistic in their pursuit, to not add to the fairy tale.
Right.
Well, but here's the thing: it's so diluted. Do they even know?
No, I hear the music, but I got a thought about what Eric is saying. And it's about complicity. But I'll let
Because I got to get back to the rules again. The question is it okay to keep coding false history?
That's why I said the word complicity, but I hear the music. I'm gonna shut up.
Did you shut up?
Did you not move?
That's just Michelle.
It's not right.
773 763 9278 is the number. Stay tuned for more of the family.
This is Sue Myers, founder of Indivisible South Suburban Chicago. Keep listening to The Family Meeting.
Get up and do your thing. Office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you, whether it's personally, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9-LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck, had a few drinks too many, a cop hits you with a DUI or OWI, arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony, purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm, when your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home, that's right, you better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now, 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles.
Calling all valued members of the American Veterinary Medical Association, or AVMA. Your future retirement goals can be achieved. Introducing the AVMA Retirement Plan, tailored to meet the distinct needs of veterinarians with streamlined administration and reduced burdens. Vets enjoy unrivaled benefits that include service provider oversight, knowledgeable expert investment guidance, and delegated fiduciary services. Veterinarians who use this plan can say goodbye to annual retirement plan audits and annual retirement plan tax reporting. Veterinarians, you can enjoy retirement your way with customizable plans to suit your practice's unique structure. From eligibility to vesting schedules and more, elevate your retirement journey with AVMA's specialized plan. Learn more by sending an email to polaris@polarisadvice.com. Secure your veterinary legacy starting today. Email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through LineStreet Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and LineStreet are not affiliated.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, in Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my daylight clothes or is it just my daylight song? What I do ain't make believe. People sit and try, but when it comes to being daylight, it's just me, myself, and I. 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 Now you tease my plug one style and my plug one spectacle. You say plug one and you are hippies nowhere, not just pure plug two. Always pushing that we formed an image, there's no need to lie. When it comes to being plug one, it's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. myself
So,
and I.
there are lots of things that we know now, right? The thing that comes to mind always when we talk about this is Greenwood and its massacre, the killing of all of those black people in Greenwood, and the number of people who didn't know, and that was by design. I remember listening to one of the people still remaining alive who were terrorized by these Klansmen, and who was talking about the fact that their family explicitly said, "We don't talk about that." And I'd imagine that they faced danger if they did talk about it.
Talking about in the Carolinas, right?
No, in Omaha, Nebraska. Oh,
Greenwood, Omaha.
Was it Green?
You're talking about Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the. Go ahead, but there's
you thinking about the
when they kicked all of the black politicians and
Right.
took over the
another one.
whole duly elected black political representatives, and they just ran them all. They did the white mob thing.
Yep.
And took over the
Yeah.
political system.
Yep.
Yeah.
In North Carolina.
Yeah.
This was well, you can look it up for yourself.
Yeah.
What happened in Greenwood?
You're talking about Tulsa, though.
Well, the neighborhood's called Greenwood.
Okay.
Yeah. But Tulsa, right. So what are the rules then? Is it okay to teach children false history? Now, I understand it's a loaded question. I understand that your knee-jerk answer is, well, hell no. And I don't think that I don't think that people have understood thus far the reason for the question. Because the answer is oftentimes, of course not. It's not the point.
Okay.
The point is, it's still happening. There are still schools that are teaching people that Columbus discovered America.
Sure.
There was no America
Sure.
when he got lost and ended up here.
Yeah.
And he's a genocidal maniac, as indicated by his writings in his own diary. But they romanticize him and give him a holiday. They still have a parade, as I understand, for a genocidal maniac.
And you don't have to go back that far, because now they're trying, and because Texas has the largest purchase of textbooks for public schools. So they get to dictate what goes in them, right? Now they want to put in their textbooks as a part of historical accounting that the election was rigged against Donald Trump and he actually won it. The one he
Another
lost.
effort.
That's
Another
what they
effort.
want to put in actual history books to be taught to children.
Another effort to create false history.
Yes.
So the question is it okay to teach false history to children? And if you say no, absolutely not, then how then does it persist? And what do you do when your children, you know better, go to school and learn these things? Do you unravel it?
Yeah.
Are you participating in combating that history?
Right. Especially when you are not a part of the history that benefits from the lie.
Now, see, this is what I think. I think, the adage, you tell a lie enough, it becomes truth.
Yes.
And I think that that's what's happening now, right? But with the with social media and everything, I think people have so much more access to information that they can look it up. But I honestly believe that people who are teaching some of these things, they don't know it's not true. They don't know it's an edited version of reality.
So that was the take that I had rolling around in my head when he was talking. And it's not false history to you if you don't know that it's false.
Right. Exactly right. And that's where I think we are now.
Right. So to your point, so when now you start to be able to go and find things that are true, and people that didn't have a platform now can get on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram and start telling people the truth. Now there becomes that conflict of what that doesn't sound like what I learned in school.
But I think there are two levels of information that you may or may not know. There's the Wilmington story. I was thinking of Wilmington.
Yes.
So, okay, yeah, and the Greenwood story. You
Mhm.
may not have known about that, but Christopher Columbus, pretty widely known.
Yeah.
So, but they still teach
I didn't know. I didn't
until when?
Until I went to college that he was a horrible person. I didn't know.
Well, that's fair.
I did not know.
What you learned in college.
In college.
Which would imply that
But
these
not from
teachers who went to
books.
college.
I learned when I became a black person.
She went Angela Davis in college. You got black any black?
I did, honey.
Yeah.
I came back like, yeah.
Big clock around her neck. Yeah, boy.
Shut up. Not the clock.
Yeah, but so they should know. They may not know, but they should know, right?
You would think.
Yeah, but history allows control.
Yes.
You get to tell the stories then.
You get to tell the story. You get to do the narrative. You put, so history is about control. So if you start changing the
when we talk about it often, we're talking about the powers that be
Mhm.
and the concerted effort
Mhm.
to mistell the story.
Yes.
I'm talking about the grassroots people who make subtle contributions to this by not at least rebuffing that when you know better.
So give me an example of someone you have in mind.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I have anybody in mind, but and the first thing that comes to mind is the CBS Sunday Show. Their subtle contribution.
And that is what the word popped in my head is complicity. But
Right.
they're complicit.
But I think CBS knows.
They know. But look who's at the head of CBS, billionaires. Right? And so when you start questioning the truth about one thing, you have to question the truth about everything. And so pretty soon the questioning comes to their doorstep. The billionaires and the people that have, everybody working for minimum wage, struggling, right? I mean, again, I go back to these people won't even call this dude a liar.
Listen, I think we might be giving them too much credit. I think that they might not know either.
No, they know.
Who are you talking about?
They know.
The white people.
Which one?
And history. And
they know.
I don't think that they know.
I'm talking about the people he's referring to, people that are contributing to the lie that know or should know better. And I'm saying they're complicit in moving the lie along. And some of them that sit behind the desk may not have any choice because they're just doing their job. Right?
Their livelihood depends on
Their livelihood depends on the stories that they read and they tell and how they tell them.
But I also think we live in a cut and paste world too, right? So wherever I go get my information, what was the significant part that you said was missing in this conversation this morning on the show?
That they sold the United States some land they didn't really own, and it was because they were getting their butts kicked by Haitians.
Right? Okay, so you might have to do a deep dive to even find that now. You see what I'm saying? And
those people
so the stories that get passed on and on and on as they get passed on, they don't include that.
No, you and I might, but CBS, they have staffers that do all kind of research and producers and editors to put those stories together.
Not like they used to.
Yeah, but
they do.
But I think it's fair to assume that they purposely excluded that.
Yes. Yes.
And that's the problem. See, I don't have a problem with people who you described don't know, right? Brother Minister always said that, be careful criticizing people for not knowing anything. At some point, you didn't know something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody comes to knowledge. I get that. So it's not them. The problem is the people who know and make subtle contributions to it.
Sure.
And I got to believe, I'm willing to be wrong, but I got to believe CBS knows.
Yeah.
You would hope so.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
hard to believe they don't know.
Multi-billion-dollar operation with all kind of research staff and people about everything.
So what do you think their reason is for the omission?
It's complicit.
Because it would create backlash.
Yeah.
From whom?
From those people who are purposely distorting the story.
See, I think that that's something that they've created in their mind. That might not necessarily backlash for what? It's history.
Well, you see it all the time now. Why do you have to talk about all this Black history stuff all the time. It's why you got to bring all that up. That's terrible talk. Why are we talking about that? They do that all the time. They're trying to take it out of the textbooks.
Exactly.
They don't want it discussed.
Right.
Just like they didn't want Greenwood discussed. They don't want Wilmington discussed.
Right.
They don't want any of that discussed because it's a horrible history attributable to them and their ancestors.
Not only discussed, they're erasing stuff that has already been public knowledge. They're erasing that. The Trump administration has come in and pulled down the plaques that were put up for African American soldiers and women soldiers, right? And their contributions to the war effort. And he's removed mention of these people.
While at the same time endorsing having insurrectionist statues up.
Yes.
And pardoned.
Yeah. And having insurrectionists on the name of army bases or military bases.
Yeah.
They know.
They know.
They know. And so my problem is with the people who know and make their own daily subtle contribution. I don't even think CBS meant any harm.
No.
I mean, I felt like they in their whatever editorial meeting or whatever they were writing the script for this discussion this morning, they kind of felt obligated to let people know that there were Native Americans on the land, right?
Because that's kind of hard to ignore.
Yeah, but I felt like it was we should go ahead and at least mention that.
Yeah,
it's one of those things.
Yeah,
but don't tell them the whole story though.
Yeah, because we don't have to delve into why Napoleon needed the money, except to say that he needed it for his war effort. We don't have to talk about who was putting it on him.
Which lends credence to why you should have Black journalists in the room, in the editorial rooms.
That's exactly right.
Who will push the narrative to the next level.
Right. Because if you look at it, Napoleon is this amazing strategist and general. I mean, this dude he's like right up there with Christopher Columbus. He's great. He's great.
Or Custer.
Yeah. But he got to them islands and they put it on him.
Put the juju on him.
And they're so furious about them Black people putting it on them white folks so bad that Haiti right now is still punished by the global community. Mm-hmm. To this day, still being punished by what they did to Napoleon.
Roughly 180 years later.
Yep. They have not forgiven those Black folks for showing those white folks they were not superior by the color of their skin.
Mm-hmm. We beat y'all ass with some sticks.
Yep. Furious about it.
So the problem is, I think as it is with a lot of our societal problems, it's the people who know. It's the people that we expect to advocate for our permanent interests. It's those people who aren't standing up in a meaningful way to fight the fight, to change the narrative, to make sure you don't make a subtle contribution to the problem. And too often they do. Mm-hmm. I am anxious to hear that story when we get off the air too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. She's got a story she don't want to tell.
Well, because he'll want to talk about it, and I don't want to talk about it on the air.
She don't want to talk about it on the air. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Yeah.
And she had bass in her voice.
Yeah, she did have bass. Yeah.
You know what, Eric? I just don't want to talk about it.
You sound like that lady in what's my movie? My cartoon with the
Throw Mama from the Train.
No, it's a cartoon.
I don't know.
So
Monsters. Monsters Inc. That's what it is.
Okay.
So you probably know, Adrian, I've been struggling with these 7 or 8 questions that I have, trying to figure out a way.
I think you asked too many questions at one time.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Right? Because it's
narrowed them down.
scattered. Because you asked so many people didn't know what to do, and they just brain locked and said, well, I'm just not going to talk about none of them.
We did 1.5 last week, and we still didn't really.
Yeah. I think maybe take one and deal with it for a couple of weeks and then move on to the next question.
When is it okay to teach children the false history?
I think that's a great.
Right? Because that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing every single day.
So when is it okay, or how is it okay, or why is it okay? When do we stop?
What can we do about it?
No, but listen, I want to know. I just want to know when it's okay, because if I know if I know the rules,
because we're doing it,
then I want to tell the story the way I want it told.
Right.
False or otherwise.
Right.
Listen, I'm a superhero. I can fly. For real. I want to tell stories that aren't true.
Yeah.
Let me do that too, if that's the case. If that's what we're playing, let me do that too.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't have picked superhero. I'd have picked Jedi. You know, lightsabers and all.
Oh, that was so nerdy. That was so incredible.
What about
lasers?
I'm more of a phaser girl.
More of a phaser? I grew up on phaser.
I know you did.
I'm going to a phase right now. 773.
What you got to say?
When is it okay? When is it okay to say anybody? When you know when that's
What you got to say?
And if you can't, if you insist that it's not okay. How is it happening? 773-763-9278.
Hi, I'm Vicki Miller-Walton. Keep listening to the family meeting.
Not too long ago.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up, this is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information or shoot us an email at polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today, and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, in Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITSAFHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3. Check, baby, 1, 2. Check, baby, 1. It's true, the one shaker. The beats is like sweeter than candy. I'm feeling manly and your shaker's coming in handy. Slide on my clothes from New York down to Virginia. Tickling you around Delaware before I enter. Don't do seduction from faces to feet. A wiggle and a tickle to make the night complete. Let's see you got the body. Yeah, come and get the award. Here's a hit, it's like a long shot. Flip tails, let me see you shake it up like dice. The way you shake it up, you turn a mighty man of mice. But A plus got a surprise, that's a backbreaker. Now let me see you shake it up like a rough shaker. All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Movie.
All I wanna do is zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Have you guys seen Cujo?
Anything about it?
Don't say anything. Fucking want to hear anything about it. Everybody thinks that's
I know.
all base left field.
Stop touching.
Baby boy.
Booties up the cutie, steady shaking, bubble axes. The action is packed in a jam like a closet beats. Bound to get you up, cold floor like a faucet.
You're gonna make me use some expletives.
Somebody needs to donate some tickets for Michelle to go see the movie Sinners. It's in IMAX somewhere too, I think, right?
I think it's still at Navy Pier.
You should go see it in IMAX.
That's where the IMAX is. That's closest to me.
I wish
It's on Navy Pier.
I'd seen it on the big screen.
Yeah, I might go see it again in IMAX.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Can I go?
Somebody donate some tickets to Michelle for IMAX at Navy Pier so she can go see Sinners. Give her a gift certificate for that.
Shut up.
Maybe she'll go tonight or something.
No.
Would you go tonight?
No.
You got something to do?
No.
Then go tonight.
I have a whole routine. You know, the show ends and then, you know.
No, I don't actually. Why don't you tell us about it,
No.
Michelle?
Let's go back to the questions, shan't we?
I want to know what you do. Don't you want to know what she does?
She goes
today?
back out to her patio and it becomes 4:20 or something. I don't know.
Time changes. Yeah,
Time and date becomes 4:20.
Well, now that's it might be a little true.
Yeah. So what do you do, by the way?
Come on now. You're gonna get to the questions. Why are we picking on me today?
Are we picking on her?
I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel
A
it.
little sensitive today, right? A little sensitive today.
I'm just trying to
man.
keep you all away from talking about sinners. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
I'm just.
to do.
I know you say no judgment, but I'm judging you because you haven't seen.
I
Sinners
am
yet.
too.
I know. I should be judged on that.
I think so. Yeah, every black person should have seen it already.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I bought a ticket that first weekend. I didn't go, but I bought a ticket just to make sure I registered in the sales.
Look at you.
That's because I'm blackety black like that.
Yes, but you also deprived somebody of that seat.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you did because they don't they give you
Yeah, but
reservations?
Michael B. Jordan got the money, so that's all I'm worried about.
Oh.
He got the money.
Somebody who wanted to see
Him and his
Good
twin.
luck to Keisha,
Him
man.
and his
Okay.
twin got the money.
Yeah. His twin, right? So the question is, and you guys let me know if I'm on the right track. The question is, when is it okay to teach false history? I took the children part out.
Yeah.
When is it okay? Do we consider excluding history, teaching false history? Like them excluding the Haitian Revolution. Is that teaching false history?
It's it's omission, so they're not teaching it at all.
So
That's a tough one.
I could see, for the sake of how that show is structured with these very short segments, how they might omit the part about who he was losing to and why he needed the money.
Yeah, but they conveniently said the war effort.
That's true.
They didn't say what war.
Yeah, but he was at war. He was at war with more than just the Haitians, right?
Okay, well that's right. That's true too. That's true. He's getting his ass beat everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay, we'll go with that. You ever watch the History Channel?
Are there lightsabers? Yes, I do.
You know what they need on cable now?
Lightsabers.
They need a math channel.
Oh.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I would. There are no lightsabers without math.
Gosh darn it, Ma. Just lightsaber. Because, he's got adenoids, you understand? He said, gosh darn it. Gosh darn it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You need a math channel for Adrian.
He needs to be the host of the
Yeah.
math channel. He already knows all the math.
Yeah,
He needs to host it.
You can have Rich there with
I'm
you, too.
not a math major. I'm not.
You can, hell, you'll Oh, I can say that, can I?
You can say
I thought he had questions
I do.
that
What
were
is
not
it-
about math.
I actually have math questions too, but I'll leave that alone too. But so when is it okay to teach false history? When is it okay?
I don't know that it is.
Come on, man. How about that answer? How about that answer? He
I don't
doesn't
know.
know.
That, I don't know that it is. It's not. It's not.
What do you mean you don't know if it is? Either it is or it ain't.
It's not. So here's a perfect example.
That's a contribution to the effort by waffling on it. I don't know. It could. I don't know. I don't know if it is. I don't know. What do you mean?
Stop.
Stop tidying up, man. What are you gonna say?
That's my OCD kicking in.
He really wants to jump across the table and strangle you.
So here's an example of false history being taught. Is this whole situation with maybe it's not history, the Epstein files, right? And this whole Epstein thing. These cats in these right wingospheres have been preaching and teaching that Hollywood elites, liberals, and Democrats
Sexual deviants.
are these sexual deviants that have been that have these child trafficking rings, and they've been drinking the blood of children
in the basement of the pizza
But
parlor.
it's a whole ecosystem of those evil people on the left have this whole cabal of child trafficking, right? And it all culminated around Jeffrey Epstein when he got popped. And so now that they've been clamoring for his files to be released, and the dude in the White House is like, nope, we ain't doing that. Now it looks like he is a part of the cover-up that they accused the Biden administration of being a part of when the information was not released under the Biden administration. And so since they believe that he was their Lord and Savior, they are now devastated because they put so much stock into that guy.
I don't believe that.
Oh,
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I think they highlight the people who are devastated, but I think collectively they're not devastated.
I'm gonna
They're
disagree
they're-
with you on that.
they're
Social
falling
media,
apart.
they are beside themselves,
They're
and it's the
falling
most
apart. I think
curious
that's
thing.
wishful thinking.
I think it's the most interesting thing to witness because I'm not quite sure why they're angry.
So watch this. Let me tell you why I say that.
Well, some of his most vocal supporters are now
the most vocal.
Yeah, some of the most vocal.
What about the non-vocal?
I understand. So I'm
You
just
haven't heard from them.
Because they're non-vocal.
And they watch Fox News, and it's not being talked about on Fox News.
I understand, but it's still being highly disseminated on the internet. The same place they got all the news and the information about Biden covering up the Epstein thing, and they murdered him so that all the liberal elites wouldn't be disclosed. Him not disclosing it, it's being permeated through those same channels.
I am not convinced that's wishful thinking.
Okay.
I think in the same way that many of you walked into the election thinking that Kamala had a chance in this country, I think it's the same issue. It looks that way from the way the media presents it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not looking at the media.
Okay, social media presents it.
Yeah. So, for instance, his guy, the FBI guy,
Bondi.
No. She's the attorney general.
Boingo or whatever.
Yeah, Boingo. Bonino, right? And Cash Patel.
That dude's hairline's rushing to see the back of his head.
Yes. But this
Just
guy,
running.
listen. So it's been rumored, but this guy's ready to leave his post. And Cash Patel has also said, if he leaves, I'm leaving too. And it's all over this Epstein stuff of Trump saying, leave this Epstein stuff alone. And these guys were on podcasts and on everybody's show what they have them talking about the Epstein file. And now they're ready to leave their post. But again, it's par for the course.
That's
I
what we're
know.
being told.
I know, but this kind of chaos and nonsense is par for the course when you're dealing with an imbecile that hires people
That are
just
also
because
imbeciles,
they're
yeah.
willing
But
to lick his boot.
All those stories are
Yeah.
what we think people have said they've heard. or
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Nobody knows.
Nobody, yeah. So
it
fair
looks
point.
that way. I get
fair
that.
point. And all we can ever go on is what things look like at the moment, from day to day.
And even that you can't rely on that.
You can't rely on it, but you can glean some kind of insight.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it's everywhere. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because they think he can do no wrong, and so to pick this particular issue or
right
to break up with him for is fascinating to me.
I agree with you that the they you refer to is feeling some kind of way.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I just think that the they is not as widespread as you think it is.
Maybe not. But I heard someone say something.
There's nothing that it indicates to me that it's widespread. It's the most vocal people that you can get on social media and on television, but you don't see it widespread.
I do.
Here's
I
one-
see it on everything I'm on.
Right, social media.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the people you can see on social media and on television. Yeah, but in terms of widespread, of those 75 million people, how many voted for him?
Yeah, but it's still in every newspaper. It's in. I mean,
people don't read.
it's
No. They're but you
it's-
got to
it's-
remember.
it's a thing. It really is.
Yeah,
a
you got to
thing.
remember the stuff that got him, the stuff that got them brainwashed or convinced that he was their savior because he was going to disclose who all these pedophiles were.
Yeah.
They are now in the same echo chamber where he's saying Epstein didn't even have a client list.
Yeah. It's fascinating that they're
They're
turning
in
on
the
him for
same
that.
echo chamber.
I hear you. It's the echo chamber. I agree. It's just the people who voted for him. I don't think that they're with that.
I think they're the ones
They're
that
in
are
that
losing their
chamber.
minds.
They're
the
in that
ones that are losing
chamber.
their minds, which is why it's fascinating.
Yeah, because
why?
Because here's been the story.
He's always been a womanizer, rapist, pedophile.
He's going to start attaching the label rhino to these people.
He can do whatever.
He already tried to blame Obama and Clinton.
But it's like believe every other theory, but don't believe this. This is the one you should not believe. It's because it's points at him.
And they've always done that. They did the same thing when he had his Trump University and had to pay out $25 million.
Yeah, but this is different because this was core to them. This was core to them. This was the Rosetta Stone of Democratic, progressive, liberal elite people. And now he's a part of the cover up. That's how they see it. Then that's on them. But they're still going to have their age on the war. They're going to have their
I bet you
They have
dollars
been
nothing comes.
disrupted. Well, of course, nothing will
Watch Pam Bundy get thrown under the bus. Yeah, she's getting ready to get.
All right, y'all. Michelle's got news.
I'm Tina Smith, the owner of Master Plus Sibling Program, and the family meeting will be right back.
Polaris is introducing a way for you to get empowering financial advice, save and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
This is Miss Lady B, La Boricua. Now it's time for the family meeting news.
Welcome back. This is Michelle Jane. Here's more of what we are following on the family meeting. Punk legend and Hyde Park native, outside stage by Storm this summer at a free outdoor festival. 79th Street Renaissance will return to Auburn from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. December 6th. Day-long celebration will cut down 79th and Racine Avenue. Yes. Now it's been, now in its 20th year, the Family Friendly Festival will continue its tradition of offering live music performances, petting zoo children, football, Ferris wheel, and all food you can eat. Did you guys hear me say it was free? Okay. The festival is free. Khan Chaka grew up in Hyde Park, attended Auburn District, now closed Calumet High School and Community. Did you know she was from there? Okay. Don Lemon is moving forward with his lawsuit against Elon Musk. This week, a San Francisco judge ruled that the former CNN journalist lawsuit against Musk and X, formerly known as Twitter, for breach of contract and proceed to trial. In his ruling, Judge Harold Kahn declared that Lemon and his legal team plausibly showcased X and Musk committed fraud by false promise and the presence of an implied contract in their case. CNBC. And time, as you know, Grant and his sister, wonderful sister, established the Ivy Grant Memorial Scholarship Foundation to honor their beloved father, who was an activist and a trailblazer in his own right. So on Friday, August 1st, we are continuing the tradition of the 4th annual Memorial Golf Scramble. This year, we will gather at the Spring Valley Country Club in Salem, Wisconsin. We'll have games on hand for those that do not play golf, cards, board games, virtual games, and music. We also have great hole-in-one prizes. We have Harley Davidsons, we have cash prizes, and more. Additionally, we have some spectacular raffle prizes, a week-long trip to Hawaii, a year-long walk-through golf membership at Spring Valley Country Club. And you should know that 100% of your gift goes towards the scholarship. There's no overhead, so all of the money goes to the cause. And come and join us. If you don't play golf, there's a lot of other things for you to do. You can sit and ride around in the golf course in the golf cart with me. I could drive a golf cart. I'm good on the golf cart. Anyway. We're still looking for host projects and a few spaces for 4th available. Come and join us. Okay, turn that music off. Please visit our webpage, RadioShow.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Threads, TikTok, and Spoutable, Blue Sky, and Twitter. Also, subscribe and follow our YouTube channel. Hey. And view us live. Please remind us when we're on the air. I'll be right back. I'm tired of my notes.
Hey, family meeting cousins. As you know, we created a Patreon family meeting subscription and membership page to include you great listeners in our effort and give you a chance to very economically promote your business, organization, or local event. You can contribute as little as $5 per month to get your message out and support the family meeting as a viable voice. We know you appreciate our permanent interest dialogue, get up and dance playlist, and our great guests who stop by. So become a cousin and go to our website, tfmradioshow.com, and click the link.
I'm your kitty cat, love what we do. I adore the taste of every part of you. You're so strong and so pure, got me dignitized. and I want some more. Talk strong, daddy. Control your girl. Ooh, yeah, you got it. You're so thorough. You leave me in a frenzied state, and I can't wait till then. I imagine myself on my knees, waiting for you to come over. When I need to feel sexy, I imagine myself on my knees, waiting for you to come over. When I need to put it on, I imagine myself on my knees, waiting for you to come over. All I gotta do is recall. I imagine myself on my knees, waiting for you to come over and leave me. I'm your lioness in the jungle, babe, and I'm hungry now, and it's you I crave. I drink your mind, sugar, consume your soul, cause you give permission for me to let go.
Sandra wanted to know
where you go, I don't know,
and I want to
take
tell
me
you.
to
Oh
another
my! I hate Eric so much. I hate him so much. You can't binge that show though. It's exhausting. The dead bodies everywhere, and the gore, and the drugs, and the sex.
Have you encountered Giancarlo Esposito yet?
No. I'm on season 2.
Wait till his character comes
I
along.
cannot. I mean, the first drug dealer that they killed.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. He's everywhere in everybody's show.
He's really good though.
He's in The Resident. Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
You have to watch The Resident.
That was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. We just finished.
Wait till he shows up.
I can't. I'm exhausted.
The characters keep coming. They keep doing crazy things. And at the end of every episode, it's like, yo.
Well, because they start something else. But see, I'm exhausted. I get verklempt.
Stella would say, Ajita. Ajita.
So yes, I'm on the train, Cassandra. Okay, you ready for the first call?
Yeah, why don't we?
Let's go with Ron from Michigan. Hi, Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Hi, folks. Listen, from what I understand, the Trump administration, of course, they're renaming the bases, but they're going to go further than that with education. They want, like Robert E. Lee and the Confederate, to have a more sympathetic role in the Civil War. Okay, so Eric, you were saying that people didn't know about Black Wall Street. That's all going to be erased. It's all going to be with new history that is white supremacist history. Okay, and it's like in Texas with the cowboy hats and the pearl handled pistols when they have these conferences were in Texas where they were given like $2 billion for emergency management, but they didn't want to put in an alarm system, okay? And they had the money, but they didn't want to do it in that area. They got, 3 waivers to build on water-prone flooding areas. It's like they knew the area was dangerous, it was going to kill people, and they put their most precious things right there in the water, right in the path of the water. And now it's so sad, but at the same time, it's part of the legacy of Texas. I'm sorry, this whole thing is tied into white supremacy, okay? Like we have to go to Uvalde, okay, where all those children, Hispanic children, were massacred, and all the cops standing around in their cowboy hats and pearl-handled pistols were all Hispanic cops, and the white supremacist leadership didn't let them go in there, did they? And they heard their children screaming, and they stood out there with their guns all loaded, and you didn't go in there? How can you live with yourself? And you heard your children screaming, and you had the ability to go in there and kill this punk but the white supremacists said no. Did they? You understand what I'm saying here? It's the cowboy hats. It's the legacy of Texas. They honor 2 years they kept people in bondage. Okay, that's the legacy of Texas. That's what they build their legacy on, their history. Okay, they defy the federal government. Still today, if it wasn't for Buffalo soldiers going into Texas and going to bar rooms and shooting and killing all these white supremacists, people still would have been enslaved in Texas. It's so sad. This their policies lead to this, but that's what this is. That's what you get out of white supremacy, billionaires, Trump, the Republic scum party, and get ready for more of it. That's all I can say.
When is it okay to teach false history?
It's okay when the white supremacists are in power and they control everything. That's when it's okay. It's never okay to teach false history, and that's what this whole country's the 4th of July. Okay, that's what the truth is.
Ron got a good one there. Ron had a good one there. Ron, thank you so much, man. Thank you for that contribution.
Thank you,
man.
Ron.
We appreciate it.
You're welcome, folks.
Take care. Yeah, it's
Good points.
Yeah, I guess that's a good answer. It's when white supremacists are in charge. It's okay. That's a good answer, right?
It's true.
I dig that one.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next?
Paul from Seattle.
Oh, here
Hi,
it comes.
Paul.
It's Paul. All right, here we
About
go.
to start making sense of stuff.
Yeah. See all that. See, let me tell you one thing you can't do today. You cannot make sense. Don't do that. It doesn't help.
What? Don't do what?
Don't make sense.
Oh, okay. Well,
say something stupid.
The whole thing with so and so drinking the blood of children. That started as long ago as that's what the early Christian home churches were accused of. Remember, the first century churches were in people's homes, and because it was sort of secluded, I mean, it was not a public church, they were accused of eating babies, and that's why the first stay woke statement was, 1 Peter 3:15 through 3:19. When you read that, you read that with a new awakening. It's basically the first stay woke statement. And I published an article in a Michigan newspaper when I was there that said exactly that stay woke. I started with, that's what Lead Belly said in those good old Jim Crow blues song in 1930. Yeah, I think it was 1933. And I made a whole list of cases, starting with Powell versus Alabama, the Scottsboro cases, where the 9 young black men and boys even were accused of raping 2 white girls, young women, on a train. They were soliciting for prostitution, and then when they got caught, they said, "Oh, those 9 black guys raped us." They were all sentenced to death. That's what led to the Supreme Court. None of them were executed, but all but one actually served terms up to 20 years. They did nothing. That went there all the way through Emmett Till and up to this the guy's guy in Georgia who was out jogging, was shot.
Aubrey. Yeah.
Was he in Georgia?
5 examples I put.
I think it was Georgia.
In Georgia.
Yeah. Okay.
5 examples I put in this article, and the right wingers out of there. And I said, but the first stay woke statement was 1 Peter 3:15, and I actually put it in the article. And the right wingers was out of their flipping mind with reaction against me. But you look at this. Look at what the lies say. Who is it okay to teach? False history. Well, it's like to the victor go the spoils, and the winners write the history. Right. Well, for now, that's what we are living with. You get this. The Biden administration had appropriated FEMA funds preemptively for this floodplain in Texas, which the Trump administration never delivered. And the same holds true we had a big windstorm here in Western Washington in November, the week before Christmas. All kinds of infrastructure destroyed, including federal infrastructure, because the electric system here the electrical grid is, the Bonneville power system is federal. And when these high tension, high voltage transmission lines went down, that's federal from the dam, from the hydroelectric dam. They never have paid. The Trump administration has impounded those funds. Okay, so look at this. Have you heard anybody, and this whole flood took place right the day after the big bill of goods passed Congress. I mean, I don't want to say it was divine intervention and saying you guys all, but just like there's no doubt that Trump had Jeffrey Epstein killed because the only thing that he thought was standing in the way of his reelection in August of 2019, the election's a year away, was a sex trafficking scandal, a young child sex trafficking scandal. So he offed him. And then God said, oh, we can't let that happen. So he sent us COVID, and it worked. Trump didn't count on that. But now we put the idiot back in. And God just says, listen, you have free will, right? You have free will to be stupid. I just can't stop you with that. I mean, if I'm going to let you be free people, I have to let you be stupid.
That's true.
So these funds were impounded. Have you ever heard, this is rhetorical, any GOP member of Congress give the elevator pitch about how the big, beautiful tax cuts are going to benefit the average family of four who making, X amount of dollars per year? I've never heard one of them say that. Not one. And that's what normally you do. You have to think that, what did they not say? I know what they said. But normally, when you're pushing something, you talk about how this is going to benefit you. And they didn't, because there are no tax cuts. As a matter of fact, there are tax increases. I just heard this on right-wing radio a couple, maybe 6-8 weeks ago, that the tariffs were raising $30 billion a month. And I called the host, and I said, what's your source? You got where'd you get that metric? He said, it was an interview with somebody that I did. I said, well, if you can't send me the metric, the link to where you're getting that, I don't believe it. Until yesterday on WCPT, NBC Radio News reported that in June, the tariffs raised $27 billion in additional revenue. Oh, good. We're paying off it. Like Trump said, we're paying off the big debt. But there's no new manufacturing and no new jobs created from this. But $27 billion is attributable to 340 million people in this country. Every man, woman, and child paid an extra $80 in sales tax, federal sales tax in June. Now that's, for a family of four, that's $320. Now help me with this. That's about a week's worth of groceries, right? Or a month's worth of gasoline for one of the two family vehicles. That's a hit. Mm-hmm. So in other words, and that's a tax that's regressive because it doesn't reflect any positive economic indicator. In other words, if you make more, you pay more.
Right.
But this doesn't reflect any positive economic indicator except the middle class got dinged for $80 a piece in June. That's for a family of four, $4,000 a year in tax increases.
Listen, we got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes before our break here, man. What's the answer to the question? When is it okay to teach false history?
It's not okay to teach false history, but like I said, the winners write the history. And when you got corrupt winners, look, remember in the when I grew up in the 60s, the way they taught the Civil Wars, it was kind of taught like, well, there were valid opinions on both sides. Do you remember in the 70s, they were still playing the blue-gray football game, the Shrine game, the college game? And the South, the gray, were playing Dixie, and their band was playing. Just like, what the hell? I mean, as if this was a legitimate conflict over enslaving people.
Yep.
The dude worked because cotton was so valuable, and the reason cotton was so valuable is because to make cotton clothing was the single biggest public health progress in the 18th century, because wool clothing first of all, it gets destroyed by bugs, but it's also infested by ticks and fleas and things that spread disease.
I would argue that it's sugar, but probably.
Well, sugar too, yeah. Cotton and sugar cane. And it was all exported. We didn't even make the clothing out of the cotton. We sent it to England to their mills and factories.
Okay, man, we got a break, man. You know how this works. We got a break, man. All right, go wash dishes, okay? All right, man. We'll see you.
Bye, Paul.
Yeah. People often forget sugar, by the way.
Yeah, that became kind of brutal at one point, didn't it?
I mean, the dessert wasn't really a thing until the advent of sugar. There you go. Farmer sugar cane? They won't like that.
Gotta have that wrong.
Right, 773-762.
Let me get a piece of the track, piece to the black. Peeps on the streets with the beats in the Jeeps. Coming back in 94 with the roar that's against the law. It's the G.O.D. My delivery is C.O.D.
Hey, Chicago, this is motivational speaker and author William A. Edie II, author of the book Listen If You Want to Succeed. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Utilizing the effects of the smoke.
Do you own a business in Illinois? Are you aware of the new retirement plan requirement that could impact your business? Listen up, this is crucial information you don't want to miss. If you're a business with at least 5 employees and have been operating for 2 years or more, Illinois law now mandates that you provide a retirement plan. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Polaris Wealth Management can be your professional partner in navigating this new landscape. We specialize in helping businesses just like yours establish affordable retirement plans that meet your needs and keep you compliant. You may avoid penalties as high as $500 per employee by acting now. Our team of seasoned professionals will guide you through the process step by step, making it easy for you to set up a 401k, a simple IRA, or another qualified retirement plan. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com for more information or shoot us an email at polarisadvice.com. We're here to help you provide your employees with the retirement benefits they deserve while safeguarding your business from potential fines. Don't let these changes catch you off guard. Contact Polaris Wealth Management today, and let's work together to build a better retirement future for your employees and your business. Visit polarisadvice.com or email us at polaris@polarisadvice.com. Securities offered through Lion Street Financial, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Polaris Wealth Management, LLC. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street are not affiliated.
Hi, this is Michelle from the Family Meeting, and let me tell you about the Villager Gift Boutique located at 2007 Ridge Road in downtown Homewood, Illinois. The Villager is your gift shop for unique, hand-selected, high-quality gifts. The Villager's owner, Valerie, travels internationally to trade shows and fine art festivals to bring a variety of unique, high-quality items, including fine gifts, bath and body products, candles, jewelry, clothing, home accents, leather goods, stationery, gourmet goodies, and so much more. The customer experience is very inviting and ideal for helping you find the perfect gift, especially for those shoppers who are looking for that unique gift for those who are hard to shop for. Oh, and the gift wrapping is complimentary. Shop in person in Homewood, Illinois, or online at thevillagergiftshop.com. That's thevillagergiftshop.com.
Hey, this is Brittany Perry. Did you know there's a Black-owned footwear brand based here in Chicago? Perry Co. Shoes creates affordable luxury footwear and accessories for both men and women. Whether you're in a suit or out with friends, they provide pieces you can wear on a daily basis. Breaking barriers, inspiring style. Visit www.perrycoshoes.com to purchase a pair today. That's www.perrycoshoes.com.
Unchain my heart, baby, let me be. Unchain my heart, cause you don't care about me. You got me sort of like a pillowcase, but you let my love go away. So unchain my heart, oh please, please set me free. Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, Cause you don't love me no more. Every time I call on the phone, some fella tells me that you're not at home. So unchain my heart.
Who knows what mind he's infusing? I know.
I'm
I just told you. I know. Does anybody out there radio land know?
I'll give you $1.
That I don't stand a chance. So unchain my heart. Let me go my way.
My math is
Unchain my heart. You worry me like today.
He must have answered one of his questions.
Why leave me through a life of misery when you don't care about
he had a rough time last week, Adrian.
Did he?
Yeah, he and Eric had a. Yeah, you did. I mean, you did your thing, though.
The thing? What's a thing?
You had a conversation.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Mhm.
Okay.
I thought he didn't talk to them people. Air quotes.
Who's
Eric
he?
does. No, Eric does.
Eric.
Eric always does.
They don't talk to me.
Oh, they don't talk to you.
He
Except for
welcomes-
him.
He welcomes the call.
Yeah, y'all can all call if you want. But they used to call all the time.
I know they did.
And then you should listen to it. You should look at it from last week to see, because it was
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it brutal?
No.
it was just intense.
Okay.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Yes, it was.
I'm sorry you hung up.
Yeah, me too.
Are you for real? No.
It's
See, why you say stuff that ain't true?
Entertainment.
I don't know. Something must have happened. He doesn't.
It's
He
entertainment.
usually hangs on for a while. But
It's
he didn't today.
entertainment. Call back, brother. I need to be entertained.
Easy, man.
Ah.
Call back. I need to be entertained.
We do have a.
Instigating stuff.
You want to take another call?
Yeah, sure.
Doogie.
That's my man Doogie. What's up?
What's happening? How you doing, family? I think this makes two calls in 3 weeks. I love it. I set my alarm clock now.
What's come over
Good.
I was laying there and I'm like, 4 o'clock. What's going on? Oh, it's the show. Turn it on. All right, cool.
Okay, so
Anyway,
when do you
so
think
my
it's okay
thing
to,
is,
when do you think it's okay to teach false history?
okay, when pigs fly. But let's go check this out.
Hey, there you go.
What I've been saying as my life progresses is that, I'm constantly learning more and more things every single day with all my experiences I'm going through and the revelations that I'm finding out and everything. Because I knew a whole lot about a lot, but the comments that I keep having to post on social media is 2 phrases. We've been lied to our whole lives in this country, and nothing is what it seems to be in this world. And I'm going to tell you, every country has been lying to its people, including especially this country, especially Israel. We can go down the line between whether it was a reason to go to war. Did you know that white folks down in the South actually believe that slavery was a partnership? That's crazy to me. I remember in grade school having a history book and seeing a picture of a black slave with all these welts on his back. I would say that photo has to be banned in history books today. I never understood the conflict in the Middle East for over 40 years. Never understood it until you guys started explaining it. And then I started seeing it on TikTok after October 7th of 2023. I started to finally understand what it was all about. Never understood it for 40 years. And I've got to tell you, this is the whole reason why they want to ban TikTok and why the Democrats actually supported the bill and was complicit and complacent in banning TikTok, because you know why? It had nothing to do with the Red Scare. They brought up that whole 1950s Communist Party Red Scare tactic that they used with the Russians and the communists. Now it's the communist government of China, and they're spying on you. And it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with censorship and controlling the narrative. We were learning about everything that was happening in the Middle East.
Now we understand who was bought and paid. And the Democrats thought that they were going to get reelected. So they say, you know what? In order to continue this partnership with a certain country over there and the USA that's been going on since 1948, we need to get a back door into TikTok. We need to control, because we can't censor these posts. We can't delete these accounts that are spreading the truth. And that's what it was all about. It's about controlling the narrative, censorship, and we've been lied to. We don't trust doctors. I know a lot of black families, a lot of black folks. They don't trust the medical field. The syphilis experiments down in the 40s, 50s.
Tuskegee.
Eugenics in North Carolina, sterilizing poor people.
So Doogie, what do we do about this false history then?
Here's the thing. You have to have a major media network to counteract the false narratives. They have Fox News, OAN, whatever else news organizations are out there that are similar to Fox. Black folks don't have one.
Well, that's
the left, the progressive left, doesn't have one. Sure, we have WCPT. We are blessed to have WCPT. Minneapolis has KTNF. They got WAUK Milwaukee. But we don't have a national network to counteract all of this narrative that we've been under control for decades.
That's interesting.
There's power in mass media. Ice Cube was going to buy 21 TV stations. The powers knew they don't want to give him the control of the media. And they did everything they could to stop him from buying media. When the biggest travesty was when BET was sold to Viacom, CBS Viacom. And then they started saying, hey, we're going to try and sell it. And a couple people said, we want it for $3.5 billion. We'll buy it. And Viacom pulled out. They said, no, we can't give the media back to these people because they know.
Yeah, I mean, I think we understand.
Media.
I think we understand that it's a team sport. But my problem is that we've got people who know better, who make subtle contributions, and I think that's where we have to get people to be very, very deliberate about making sure they're not making any contributions to false narratives. Doogie, we appreciate you, man. We got to move on to Tommy. Tommy's waiting. Right. You don't want to have Tommy holding. Huh?
Berlin.
Tommy. All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Doogie. We appreciate it, man.
Bye, Doogie. Thank you.
I would disagree with his thing about TikTok, because the stuff that was being said on TikTok was also being said about Facebook and Instagram, but they're not owned by a Chinese company. So, and so, he talks about the Red Scare, if you want to call it that, but it was owned by a non-U.S. company that could actually get personal information. So
who we go to next?
Yeah.
Verlon.
There he is.
Hi, Verlon.
Still being evil?
How you? First off, let me say, how you doing, Michelle? They clicked me off too soon last week when you told me bye. I wanted to tell you bye. So I just want to tell you how you doing. Then how you doing, Eric?
And stop it.
I'm good.
Verlon, stop it.
And welcome back, Adrian. First off, is your questions would only get a short answer from me, Eric. You never should teach false history. We've been taught false history all the way up until today. Of course, I'm aware of all the cover-ups and all the phony images that they put out there to teach us all these people was good, but they really were scumbags. But your question should be, this is what your question should be. When is it okay not to teach false history? Now, I would, with all the graphic material that's out there and the graphic knowledge, this is the reason why I'm so upset with the new sex ed they teach in school and the LGBTQ, because I saw the books. And wait, no, I'm not switching it to that. Listen, I'm not switching it to that. I got a big point to make. Hold on. I saw the books, they too graphic. Now, if they were to create books to teach the dismemberment of black men, you know what I'm talking about, the private parts, the rapes of women, the auctioning blocks with the whips to the bodies of African people at that time, and the trading off of kids and all of the rest of the stuff that happened on the plantations. You will be indoctrinating kids. You would create hateful people. So it should be age appropriate. If you're going to teach it, it should be age appropriate. And I think that age should be 17, preparing to go to college. Because if you start teaching them at a young age, at 6, 7, 8, like that other stuff is being taught in a lot of schools, that's like grooming.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
I don't think you should.
Hold on a second. I got your point, but what's the problem with developing people who hate the history? What's wrong with that?
No, you're not going to be just developing people that hate the history. You're going to be developing people that hate other people, which is white people. They're going to hate. They're going to hate them.
So you're here
They're
to
already
protect the white
unstable.
people. You're here to protect the white people?
No, a lot of people are unstable nowadays. You know that.
No. Yeah, I clearly heard the defense. Yeah. Let's not teach black people to hate white people.
We can't have them killing whitey now. That's good whitey.
Right.
We can't have that.
But it is.
No,
yeah.
See, that's that revolutionary talk. That's that revolutionary talk. You can't do that.
These are words that you just said. You're going to have people hate. Oh, my Lord.
Let his girlfriend talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead before you say something else crazy.
I think that's why they're not teaching proper history to students, is because people like you are afraid that hatred will ensue. And that's not what will happen. I don't believe that knowledge makes people hateful. Knowledge empowers people. And the reason why we are right here, right now, in this moment, is because we're hiding and we're not having the honest conversation about the racial injustices in this country.
Right.
I say it all the time. If we don't excavate this conversation and talk about it, it's not going to get better. Boy, it's the fear.
He would have been like Sam Jackson and Django.
Exactly. It's the fear that makes
folks.
us not have the conversation, and we should not be afraid to have it because it'll make things better.
It also feeds the narrative that black people are violent. And if anybody had the right to be violent, it was the people who were recently freed from being enslaved. But they were slaughtered on a regular basis and treated some kind of way. Yeah. And they still didn't go around killing white people. Yeah.
Don't be afraid,
that thing is that what you're bringing up is just an effort to protect your white friends.
Save them from what?
Number one, to respond to you, Michelle, I think in today's society, it would create a bigger divide. And to respond to you, Eric, back in the day when the stuff was going on, there was 535 uprisings and black people did kill a lot of white people and families to try to get out of slavery. So that's not all the way true.
We can't have that, can we?
Right. You can't have black people stopping white people from raping them and selling their kids and brutalizing them and treating them as cattle. You can't have that.
Verlon.
I don't want that.
Verlon.
Yes.
Are you proud to be black?
I'm proud to be an American.
I'm done with you. I am so done.
All right, we'll do this next week.
Let's call. Yeah.
I love this country. I love the country.
That's why I can't take the brother seriously. Come on, brother.
To this one, you gotta
Did I mistakenly call him a brother?
You gotta put
I can't take him seriously.
You can't even drink Cristal with this one. You gotta drink Cristal.
You can have Irish Americans be proud of their Irish heritage. You can have Italian Americans be proud of their.
Can I get my grown man on one?
Don't be proud to be black. Don't be that. Because that'll make white folks mad.
possibly. That's right. Can I take you out tonight? You already know what it's hitting for. I got whatever outside, and you know what I'm sitting on. 50-50 venture with them S-dots kicking off. Armadale popping now, only bringing them more. Only thing missing is a missus. You ain't even gotta do the dishes. Got 2 dishwashers, got 1 chef, 1 maid. All I need is a partner to play spades with the cards up. All trust. Who else you gonna run with? The truth is us. Only dudes moving units, M-Pimp juicing us. It's the rockin' hair. Maybach outside got rocks in air. Way young got air. I don't land at an airport. I call
a 2016 study estimated that 13.1 million Americans were victims of identity theft last year. Fight back against your identity being stolen by signing up for Identity Guard. Identity Guard monitors your credit and identity information with alerts that can help you respond quickly if certain changes indicating fraudulent activity are detected, as well as help protect your computer from viruses, keylogging, and other serious threats. Plus, with Identity Guard's dynamic credit management resources and tools, you will have helpful information as you make better financial and credit decisions. Identity Guard includes $1 million identity theft insurance and lost wallet protection, and more if you ever do become a victim. Protect your ID for as little as $6 per month. Yes, that's only $6 per month by visiting lookaftermyid.com. That's lookaftermyid.com to securely sign up for Identity Guard today.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris has introduced a way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
A single K plan is a 401k plan designed especially for business owners and immediate family, regardless if they are incorporated or not. Single Ks offer both employer and employee contributions, and in many cases have no setup fee or annual plan administrative charges. Single Ks are simple to administer with no government reporting required. Most importantly, this plan allows employees to access their savings via hardship withdrawals or loans. Visit our website at polarisadvice.com or call us about your business or organization's retirement plan at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Polaris provides empowering advice for everyone.
Securities offered through Lion Street Financial LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advisor services offered through Lion Street Advisors LLC, registered investment advisors. Polaris Wealth Management and Lion Street Financial are not affiliated.
Polaris is introducing a way for you to get empowering financial advice, save and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA, SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
before dishonor. Strap the vest down tight when you bring the drama. Now raise up off mine and taste it in the raw with more snipers on the floor galore. In my hardware store, nightmares of thirsty crooks. Niggas all acting fishy, working off the books. Painting pictures of poverty, causing armed robbery, and it provoked every last one gets smoked. No doubt, for real, it's like wildlife. With thugs forever, pull caps and always keep a knife. Cause on the strip, warfare's inevitable. Hot steel's incredible. And it's surprised the revolution won't be televised when I supply a demand. As I build my currency to expand, call it progress. When I bless my territory, all respect you, but your niggas keep it real, it's on you. It's on you, baby. It's on you.
Ready?
Woosa moment.
Dragons Lake. With CL to Dawn and
We got a lot of it out during the break.
Now praise the Most High and represent the best.
Y'all heard it for yourself.
Black man ain't a black man.
Y'all heard it for yourself.
Black man ain't a black man.
Yeah.
And
So
how do you feel about it?
yeah, I mean, yeah. So listen, I think that's one of those things where you just leave it where it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it answered every question, right?
It certainly
answered every question.
It certainly did.
Who's next?
Certainly did.
Tom.
Tommy.
My man,
Hi,
Tommy. What's up, man?
Hey.
Wait, man. Can you cut the music, please? Please. Ladies and gentlemen, please cut the music. Cut the music. And I would like to speak to the listening audience. As you can see, everyone in the studio was rehearsing for the new skit that we're going to be promoting. And that new skit is going to be called How Damn Dumb Can You Be? Because this is a moment when the grown-ups come into the room with everyone after everyone's made their opinions and say, let's just simply be serious. 1, this is the greatest country on the face of the earth. 2, 400 years an experiment in democracy, where an individual could wish upon a star, didn't matter who you were, and if you believed that a dream could come true for you, it didn't matter what your environment was. It didn't matter what the color of your skin was. What mattered was the content of your character. The best one of all. No black person tried to come to America. Your biggest enemy will always be the lies that you tell yourself. And I pray that when you tell yourself these lies, you'll have a friend like Eric Grant, who will come to you in the midst of your lies, and a friend like Tressa, and a friend like Richard, and a friend like Michelle, and a friend like drunk-ass Adrian, and Paul, and all of those who call in who are human beings. Because, see, when you forget that you're a human being, everything else is possible. So to the answer to your question, Eric, yes, you can tell a false history. Why? Because if you find out the truth, when you know better, you do better. Oh, I think it's offering time. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Stop it. Wait a minute. I think I feel it coming. Hold on. Keep listening to the family meet. Wait. Gathering. Goodbye.
It's our weekly contribution to your community safety. We get Tommy on here to get it out here, so he's not in your neighborhood breaking windows. There's something to be said about.
He's still got bricks, right?
Yeah, he's got an actual automatic brick thrower. So he just said something that struck me. To the extent you identify the people who participate in the fairy tale,
Mm-hmm.
That could be a good thing, because then it tells you who they are. Then you can identify.
Sure, absolutely agree with that. I hear that. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's some good that can come out of people who make contributions to the fairy tale.
Yeah, I mean, I think the silver lining. This is the one thing that I like about Trump.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Michelle's making that gas face. Like, what you like something about Trump? Is he let me know who was around me.
Yeah, he exposed all.
He exposed all the people around me that I knew that I learned I needed to realize you don't mean well for me. Because if you don't mean well for my brother, you don't mean well for me.
That's right.
Your proximity to me don't mean nothing to me if you're still willing to see this other person harmed. That's my brother. There are 4th of July celebrations and cookouts and stuff that Stella and I, they actually, since Trump has been in office, they don't even happen anymore. And we don't go to them.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Because of the chaos this guy did. So you all know that here was something, this was particularly poignant, 50 Cent college word, poignant, when I was on vacation and went to California.
50 cents.
50 Cent, right? 50 Cent. So check this out. And I have
let her use your glasses if you.
I have a family member. I have a family member that works for a major network television. He's one of the big 3. He's a big deal. He is a big deal, right? So, matter of fact, when Trump went to the Middle East, he was on Air Force One with them. He took me and Stella.
Did he smell like boo-boo?
I ain't going there. I ain't going there.
We always should go there.
I ain't going there. I'm not going to say that.
You can verify Michelle's story that way. Did you ask it?
Yeah. Stop
ask
it.
him if the man smelled like boo-boo.
Stop
He
it.
does smell like
Stop
boo-boo.
it. Stop it. So check this out.
He know that.
So while we were in California, he took us to one of the major studios in the LA Burbank area where they do movies, game shows, and network news, right? And then he took us down into the garage where all their news satellite trucks, when a story hits and they dispatch, he said, all of these vans are all white, no logos from our network because they get vandalized. They even burn them because when we had our network news logo on them, since Trump has been in office, it's fake news. So these right wingers are burning network television. You know how you used to be able to roll around Chicago and every now and then you see a truck that has CBS, ABC, whatever, read it?
Yeah. But your boy's afraid of black folks being violent.
He's afraid of black folks. Let's say, not your boy, Verlon. Verlon is afraid of black folks being violent for learning that white folks have been horrible. Just learning the history, he's afraid that black folks are now going to be mad at white folks when these white folks are out here burning network television vans because Trump has convinced them that anything other than what comes out of his mouth is fake news. They are defacing and burning vans.
You making a larger point?
They're idiots.
There it is. Right. That's why I don't watch the news anymore.
I don't either. But I mean, I was in a he had to just tell me the story. He's like, yeah, these things used to have the whole paint job of our network, but now they're all white. And he says the reason they don't do it now is because they think they're federal vans and they don't want to get in trouble with the feds.
Listen, I think that so Verlon gave us a gift today. Even though we had our own kind of conceptions of the kind of person that we think he is.
How do you figure he gave us a gift?
Because in that answer, in that one moment, in that one instance, we had clarity about who he is.
But I've seen that so many times.
But here's my point, though. It's empowering to us because we now know how to navigate our relationship with him. I'm doing
Yeah, if
air
something
quotes.
jump off, we know not to call him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it gives us power. The more information.
Yeah.
You know, I've dealt with people who didn't know that I knew that they were my enemy.
Yeah.
Because I found out in a roundabout way with a question or with an inadvertent email that was sent that wasn't supposed to come to me.
Right.
But it gave me power.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so this was a gift today.
Yeah.
From our good friend Verlon.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what?
Because
And
now
that
there's
is-
no doubt,
and
right?
it is not uncommon against his group of people that do that.
Right, but
They-
today I mean, we know now. We always knew, but now
Yeah.
it came out of
He
his
put
mouth.
the stamp on it.
Yeah.
I'm an American. I'm American first. I'm American.
I'm American.
And he's deeply concerned. The white
What
folks are
movie
not
is
harmed.
that
He-
from?
yeah.
I'm American.
Yeah.
Deeply concerned, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I make him?
Chris
can
Rock.
Can I
Chris
make
Rock.
him really mad? See, I might not be here next week to. I might not be here next week to address any of his rebuttal, whatever. But if I wanted to make him really mad, which I probably could, right? I would just say that he's a white supremacist.
There's no other conclusion to come to.
So then someone says, "Well, how can I be black and be a white supremacist?"
Oh,
If
please,
you-
really?
if
People are
you-
still
if-
asking that question?
If you're going to protect, white folks above your own culture, right? You're going to promote all of the things that they promote, right? And I'm not saying all, right? Because I ain't sat down in the room with him. But whenever he calls in here, it sounds like he's not. I mean, he just said, "No, I'm an American." He just discarded his whole blackness, right? So now, sometimes people say, "Well, how can you be black and be a white supremacist?" And my response to that is, how can you be a Christian without being Jesus Christ?
What? Say that one more time.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a little deep there.
Yeah. How can I be a white supremacist without being white? How can you be a Christian without being Jesus Christ? All you have to do is follow his teachings. Right?
So he's following the teachings of white supremacists.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right? So let that sink in.
It's just
Let that sink in.
Yeah. I think he's a prime case of somebody that just doesn't know better.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I don't want to call him a white supremacist, even though he's got markings. Right?
Yeah.
I'll just say that, some people fall for the okie doke because he
If your
lives.
primary concern is the safety of white people, then
If your primary concern is the safety of white people,
we can't teach that stuff because white people might get harmed.
that's right. But you know what? He like I said about some
Not
of
to
these
mention
other
it
people.
feeds the narrative that black people are violent.
You know what?
Never
And
been
it's
the case.
really that's just so sad. What percentage of Verlons are in the world?
Oh,
there's a number of them.
Disrupting
There's a number
the
of 'em.
movement.
It's way more than
Yeah,
we'd like to believe.
More than one, yeah.
I fully.
I mean,
believe
we
that.
already know about Clarence Thomas. We talk about him all the time, but it's everywhere.
They just want to
What the deal? I wanna know, was this love for real? Or could it be lust that I feel? You got it going on and on. Like a
Mr.
real
Charlie.
fly sex appeal. Physique and
Please,
smell
let me
sweet.
come over and have a bologna sandwich.
Hot and smoking.
And I'm going to
Bubble
fix
bath,
my
laughing, joking, candlelight, talking about how you and your ex
He go-
man fight.
That's what he call it next week. He
Listen,
gonna be
see,
mad.
dishes.
You know
Wine
what?
cooler, champagne
Give it
wishes,
deep.
water bed head, fine dude with some
All right, y'all. This is
love
all the time we have. I want to thank you for yours. Thank you
as
so
long
much.
as I'm around and down, nothing could ever trouble you.
To Michelle for the news. Drunk ass Patriots, driving drunk ass Michelle home.
If there's any law enforcement personnel listening, I am not drunk. I am not drunk. It's just a nickname.
Tune into the family meeting recently. I'm your host.
With my mahogany dime, I spend quality time. Cute face, haircut,
like the Halle design. Keep my dear laced up with fly getting makeup. But you should see her when she wake up. Never could we break up.
The preceding program, The Family Meeting, was sponsored.
Buy a bunch of outfits to sexy and hot, so she could look good for FD. Overweight, love an MC.
Okay.
Rub your gently, you know Steve, big CEO. Sex
Oh, you got to.
Mac
Yeah, how do you
similar,
know?
next to go.
You
Play
should
your
know
mic,
officially.
feel, man.
Right.
But through your room
You don't have
late
to
at
mention
night.
that.
It's that.
Just
I
mention
order
the
that
parent.
shit, so get it right. You be like that. It's that big man. We all
Drop
Your
it.
theme music,
You
please.
about to drop the water.
Little child trying to live a straight and narrow move.
We got requests.
Okay, so I'm going to start this. Okay, so I want the faster one.
Oh my God! Come on, come on. Give us some background. Tell us what happened. It goes on.
Okay. So I was at
You know what, Eric? I always talk like
Hey, you want to know it? You want to know it? I met a police.
What it was.
No.
Do you ever wonder when somebody's got to lose? I might as well get over. Just like fishing in the ocean, there'll always be someone new.
So I'm trying to.
You did me wrong, but I've been through stormy weather.
So a server came to us.
Just like my love.
They put us so I decided to find somebody.
This time I keep my feet on solid ground. Now I understand myself.
We're walking.
Like the sweet sound of your music, there'll always be something new.
Okay. We arrived together.
That's so cool.
So we're going out in front of and a woman on my shoulder. I turn around and she says to me, "Can you pick my order?" I mean, I'm laughing now, but it wasn't funny in the moment. And I turned to her and I looked at her and I said, what? That I can take the order. I never and at some way they're up front. There's no way I'm it don't work. Yeah. I mean, I don't. It was like I didn't work, right?
You gotta work.
And that's what you said, unemployed. Listen, I'm in. Nobody can help. Nobody can help.
to win, somebody's got to lose. Might as well get over. Just like fishing in the ocean.
I know that I
always be someone new. But I've been through stormy weather. Yeah. Just like my
Mine. That woman was in a we were all like, and if I would have said that everything was very racist and prejudiced. So I know in my heart that she would have been offended by my reaction.
Play it out right now.
No, it was me who had to turn away. I was there. I was ready to, because I remember the first turn away. Why do you have the assumption that I'm the person? No, I do, because you know why I do? Because I don't think I'm a bad person. In her mind, she believes in Allah. This is the point I'm trying to make. That there is something in what I think the word to make out some people that you can think that there
Exactly.
Right? In her mind. Look at me. I was nervous. Never heard her. I would have prayed for that. Why do you think that I'm not you? I asked what he says to me, because I'm all the way up front and I'm in the corner. Just like my love, baby. No, that's offensive. And I'm you like you. I'm moving strong and I love it. The beat goes on, let me tell you what Scrappy comes out when I was at a bar. Somebody said to me, what? Moment. But
it's me time.
Moment. Passionate and caring.
We just on that. I'm waiting for the day when I get ready to walk into a restaurant with my lovely wife Stella, and someone tosses me the keys, thinking I'm valet, because I'm taking their shit for a ride. I'm listening, baby. He gave us the keys.
He gave us the car. It's ours. We can sell it.
Now there's so many of those little cliche clips in Hollywood movies where they do that, but it's because that's happened. They think if we're in the front of this fancy restaurant, it's because we're valet. So somebody questions the server just somewhere where they didn't expect it to be. I would ask the question, what makes you think I can? See, because I'm questioning first.
But my bigger point is, hear what I'm saying. He's an ally. They were in a space. We were in a space. All like my life. And then
you
kiss me, drive me crazy. Would you do that?
I was there
for me, lady.
Right.
You look at me as a woman. thought I need to
You're the
work
help.
because she ran across the room. I'm not hearing you. I was
Now that's fluent.
She ran to the front of the room.
So get the one black person
The
there
one black person
who had to be the help.
give her her. And listen, I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at her. I wouldn't have said to her, you know, that's prejudice statement. She would have, because she does not see herself that way.
And you should have made her cry.
You know what I'm saying?
Who wouldn't have? I would have asked her a bunch of questions before she realized this moment.
You keep me alive. You cannot
right?
Yeah, I know. I would listen. I would have done what I normally do. Walk through that series where she would have been like, oh. I would have asked her something that I had to and well, all the way up, regardless of that. I
want you to hear me what I say.
I got a friend right next to me. She decided to pick me.
Right.
See, I would have had.
That's it right there, right?
I don't think this is making people. I ask people questions before I do. That's how I do a lot of my training with people. When they make a statement, they have to prove it. They walk down the road of what they're doing. So I. Right.
And I always fucking talk about they are, but they're not.
That's why I don't even like allies. I don't like the people. And in situations, all you gotta do is get the right situation. Right? They call
In her mind.
Yeah,
Right?
everybody in her mind.
Listen, you don't want to
That's an
count
illusion.
what. No.
You're engraved in my heart. Pretty lady. Do you hear me, baby? I want you to hear every word I say.
Wait. Because if the piece of hair in that space might crumble,
that means I love you, baby.
Understand why I feel bad.
No.
If she doesn't,
Hold on.
wait.
Nope.
If she doesn't, I'm not gonna be.
Hey, that's got nothing to do with that interaction. Like,
And that means that I'm gonna get you, baby. Well. Don't you know that I love you, girl?
it's the bias, programming, all of that stuff. When you had the perfect opportunity to interrupt.
Yes, you do, girl.
I'm not trying to indict you.
I would have done it had I not been a
Yeah, I would have been like,
Do anything that you wanna do.
that's what I would have done.
But don't you
That's what I would have
ever go nowhere.
Why do you think that I'm the person to ask for you to order?
Yeah, but her response was, well, because I need help over there. So she
didn't hear me,
didn't
and
get
I
it.
said I
But
wasn't part.
do you think there's anything that you could have said or done that would have changed her forever?
Absolutely, I do. You know what, Eric? I have to believe that those conversations.
Why do you have to?
Me.
Why do you have to believe
Because otherwise, fuck it. Why? What's the point?
She caught me by surprise, I must say, 'cause I never had seen such a pretty face with such a warm and beautiful smile. It wasn't hard for me to notice her style.
Whatever.
I was fascinated, sure. She took my heart and held it for me.
Oh,
I wouldn't let her get away.
I want to
Not
know.
until she heard me
So how are you?
say,
How are you doing? And not
yeah.
Because somebody wait, not in the moment.
Somebody else did that. So how
you out
would you
tonight. Can I take you out tonight? Don't care if I get
I want to learn. I want to grow.
At
I'm all
least
about
then I won't
what I say.
regret.
Change the world.
Regret the fact I missed the chance for
No.
romance. At least
No.
I walk away knowing I tried my best and I'm going on with my day. Cause at least she heard me say.
So you're walking out. Right friend.
Can I take you out tonight? Yeah, yeah. Ooh. Can I take you out tonight? I think I can show you good love. Can I take you out tonight? Don't worry. Hey, let me know. Can I take you out tonight? That's why I had to come over and introduce myself to you. Cause you're never gonna know where you find love.
They have to feel the
And hopefully I found it in you. Yeah.
Right now.
Can I take you out tonight? Got love for you, baby.
all that
I'll come get you, baby. Can I take you out tonight?
on me to walk away from me.
Can I take
I'm just getting ready to hit it. Whatever, I'm just saying. I don't know if
Let me make your house a home, baby. Can I take you out tonight?
She doesn't think that she's.
how well do you know that person? How
I don't
well
know her at all.
Exactly.
But my point is, she
Exactly.
was in this particular
That
room.
doesn't mean anything.
Yes,
Let me-
it does.
no, it doesn't.
In
Let me-
this
let me
partic-
point
that-
something
yes,
out.
Yes, because of this particular it does. It does. Because yes, it does.
Let me point something
Yes,
out.
it does.
Listen, I remember I have them in my archive about people who for years, right? We they called in and we considered them, for lack of a better word, allies, all this stuff, right? And then when certain things happen, like the rounding up immigrants, no due process, all this stuff, things going on with Israel, we have people, and they have that have called into this show. And I can remember one person saying that I don't want them here. And speaking about immigrants, I don't want them here. Now, this was a person that for years called into the show, contributed week after week, right? And you would have considered that person an ally. And then we had another person, a woman, who when Eric pushed her about what was going on in Gaza and Israel, and she said, I would bomb all of them. I would bomb all of them. These are right. So how are you a progressive? How are you an ally of humanity and people to do right by other people, right? When you hold these thoughts of, no, I don't want them here. Period. I would bomb all of them.
Listen, I'm telling you, right now,
So
in our life, in our history, and whatever, we are at the cusp of something. I don't know what we're at the cusp of.
Yeah, we are, and it's
exactly,
us and them.
But I do think that there are more people that are open for information, real
Based on what?
history.
Yeah, I'm not.
Based on
I'm
what?
tired of.
I'll tell you
Listen,
what.
Let me say this. I don't disagree with you, but I'm asking you, based on what?
I'm
makes you
gonna
angry?
tell you.
Is it just how you feel?
No, I'm gonna tell you. It's more than media. I think that we have two artists in our midst that are globally educating human beings because of their talent, and that's Kendrick Lamar and Beyonce. And I will say to you that they are
I
because
ain't heard. I don't. I don't listen to him.
but I'm not talking about you, boo. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about all of the other people who are inspired to learn more about our history because of these two specific artists.
How are they teaching history?
You don't, because if you don't, you can't talk to me about it because you don't know what they're doing in
Well,
there.
hold on a second. Michelle, what data do you
Right.
change?
Because of them.
Okay,
If it's how you feel, then I get you.
then that's how I feel. I have no data, but what I can tell you is from social media, you see white people saying, "I didn't know about the carriages. I didn't know about the."
Well, would you agree though that the algorithm could be working on you to make you feel that?
No, my algorithm doesn't show all that. I mean, my algorithm is pretty. I search beyond my algorithm because my algorithm doesn't feed me. My algorithm just does this one thing.
If you're
but
searching, you're in the algorithm.
No, but listen to what I'm saying.
But listen to what he said.
If you're searching, you're in the algorithm.
algorithm's feeding you something.
It absolutely.
searching
No,
for
I'm
something outside.
talking about I have to search outside of my algorithm
what I'm
because
saying.
my
you're always
algorithm
in the
isn't.
algorithm.
No, I have to. I'll give you
The
music.
algorithm gives you,
I'll
gives
give
you
you.
search results based on what the algorithm has.
Yes. You're in the
I hear
matrix
you.
whether you like it or not. You are in the freaking matrix whether you like it or not.
Okay, so okay, but I can just talk to you about music and my algorithm with music. My algorithm with music, which is just destroying me at this point because it's summertime and I like to sit outside and listen and 420,
Yeah, but I
whatever.
understand,
it's
but
all.
that
But
doesn't
listen,
mean
listen,
that the
let
people
me
that you.
finish. Let me finish.
All right,
It's
go ahead.
all really slow, moody, just I don't know when that happened, but I'm like, hey, this
Kidney
is my
bone.
music, la, la,
She making
la,
my kidney
la,
bone
la,
hurt.
la. And my algorithm does not reflect what I want to hear. So I'm saying to you, my algorithm does not reflect what I want to see all of the time. I have to go outside of my algorithm
You
to get it
can't.
in my algorithm.
You can't. How do you go outside your algorithm?
Because I have to go look for other shit.
Yeah, but
Where do
the
you
stuff
look?
you're looking for, the
How do
search
you look?
results are going to
How
be
do
based on
you?
your algorithm.
How do you look? How do you?
I
look?
go to Google. I go
Yup.
to all
Algorithmic
newspapers.
Okay, when you go to those newspapers, how do you go to those newspapers?
Okay, listen, why are
No. Because I think you need to understand. Let me not say that, sounding arrogant, right?
because you need to understand it's
No,
a
no, no.
horrible
It is. So I'm pulling that back. Let me pull it back. So when you go look at these newspapers and whatever, how do you go look for them? Do you go buy them do you go out to the corner and pull one out of the little mechanical contraption, or do you go online?
I wish I could go to the mechanical.
So you're going online for all the information that you're looking for, whether it's musical or political or religious or whatever. It's safe to say that you're doing this online in your searches, right? Yes or no?
But
Yes.
that's not what we were talking
Stop.
about.
I'm
You're right.
getting
It's
there.
not. You're right. It's not what we're
Right. It's not. But I just wanted.
We're talking about my interaction with this person and how I
I
feel
understand,
like that
but
there
I'm
is
getting
a thing
to.
in their
I
mind
understand. I'm trying to
that
talk
we
about your
need to
algorithm.
reach.
I'm talking about your
I don't give
algorithm
a fuck
thing.
about my algorithm.
But you
Adrian.
made
I
a
wanna
big
talk
shit.
about.
But didn't she make a
But
big
no, but
point
I'm
about how
Okay,
she goes
so-
outside her
So
algorithm?
hold on. That woman goes back home. She doesn't change.
Exactly.
Right, because I didn't get to complete the
No,
conversation.
even if you talk to her. she
No,
would
I
change.
disagree with that.
No, because
I don't
because
know.
her
Listen,
algorithm, her
I
society
don't know that she would change, but she would think about it
Nope,
differently.
she didn't.
She didn't then
I
because
think
we
that-
didn't
I
get to
think that
finish.
she'd be more careful going forward, but I don't think she thinks about it different. I don't think that she doesn't. She wouldn't have at that event considered herself a racist. She would have considered herself making a mistake. and she actually is being racist.
Right. Yep.
That's interesting. Right?
Yep.
So she would have gone on
They're
home.
making the mistake and the racist. But
Yeah. And
if
it
I
doesn't
would have
matter
been
what
able
she
to
considers
complete the
herself.
conversation, I think she would have thought about her racist tendencies.
She wouldn't have. She would have thought, I will not ask a person who looks black again unless I'm sure they work here. That's what she would have.
Okay, is that bad?
It's not, but she still harbors that same racist tendency.
Yeah.
So what would happen is now from now on, when she gets up, she's going to look at the black folks in the room, and she's going to check twice before she says anything. But she's still going to think the black folks are help.
Yep.
So she has to be shocked. And the larger problem is that these people who are so-called allies
Yep.
refuse to put themselves in uncomfortable situations.
Exactly right.
So
and
when
so
you
we
say
have to do that
shocked-
for them.
So when you say shocked, Eric, what does that mean? What would shocking her look like? Say it again.
Remember my rice burner, watermelon burner thing? That's shock.
That's insightful. Yeah,
It is, but
Shocking is being fearful that a big angry black man might harm you today.
See, but I don't think that makes anything better. I don't think that makes her
No.
want to change. I think that an
She'll
angry
remember that
black
for the
man,
rest of her goddamn
she'll
life.
remember it, but it reinforces her thought.
Fine.
But no,
See,
Eric,
which is
that's
why-
not what we
you're right,
want
no,
it
no,
to
no.
be.
It isn't, and I agree. But again, that's why I say I would have questioned her until it would have. I would have questioned her until it infuriated her, until she was upset with me or herself. But she would have walked away from me either pissed off or embarrassed.
I didn't want to do that. That would never have. I
That's
would
not her
even,
style. She
That's not her style.
even if I was able to have the conversation all the way through, I would have never done that to her. That's like you
I would have
said.
given her the base. If I was there with you, I would have said, hold on a second. Why do you think my girl works here? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Oh, don't walk away from me, bitch. Come back here.
I might not use the F word or the B word, but I
Why not?
don't
She'll
need to
remember
do
that shit
that.
for the rest of
No,
her
I
life.
don't need
Yes,
to do
but
that.
remembering it to what end?
Because
Eric?
she realizes that what she did offended people and made them angry.
But
Angry enough to make
shaming
her feel
people
threatened.
doesn't necessarily.
No, I don't want to make her shame. I want to make her
That
feel
was
afraid.
that would have shamed her.
I want to make her feel afraid.
And fear. It does not It does
Oh,
not.
fear changes.
It
Fear
changes your behavior, but it doesn't change your mind.
I doubt that.
Yes. I'm not
Yes.
going to do this anymore
Do you
because
remember what I
I'm
said a long
afraid.
time ago? A man.
Can I just say that one more time?
What?
Fear may change your behavior, but it doesn't change your mind. Hear what I'm saying. What we want to do as a country to be unified is not to instill fear in people to create change.
Because you're an American.
Fuck you.
No,
Fuck
no, no,
you.
no,
Fuck
I'm
you.
with you. Now remember,
I
I
have
said
to
something
go
a
to
long
the
time
insurrection
ago. No, Michelle, I'm with you. Listen, I'm with you. And I said this a long time ago, and it was a quote. So let me
This was
quote
really
it again.
strong.
So let me quote it again. Let me quote it again in support of what you're saying. And it is this: a man, and we can say woman, convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. So this temporary,
You're
so
not,
stop. No, let me hear me out. So this temporary fear that Eric is talking about, right? When she goes away, she's not afraid anymore because she's not in his presence. She can go back to thinking or being the way she is. So I agree with you that fear is not always the best way,
It's never.
right? So which is why, and I'm not saying
Why
that-
they say torture doesn't work.
Torture ain't
Why
fear.
doesn't torture
Torture's
work?
not fear. Torture's pain.
It's
Anticipating
pain
torture.
and fear.
Anticipating
It's
torture
pain
is fear.
and fear.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yes, it is because I'm
anticipating
afraid
torture.
that you're going to keep poking me in the toenails with this
Yeah.
this.
What
with
are you
this
gonna do
pin.
next? Are you gonna stop chopping off
I'm
toes
afraid
and start
that you're gonna
chopping
pull
off
the
like
eyelash out.
yeah. So to some degree, so I agree with you about the whole not causing fear because when you
It
cause
doesn't do
people to
anything.
cause fear, it interrupts their thinking process.
Right, because
right?
you're not
That's the
logical.
point, isn't it?
No, It's not.
You don't want to interrupt them?
No. I don't want to interrupt them with
go to the
fear.
bathroom.
I don't want to interrupt them with fear, which is why I said I would go down a line of questioning to make that person get to, why did I do that? Oh,
good luck with that.
No, I do that all the time.
It works. It really works.
I do it all the time. I don't have to scare nobody for them to realize.
Out there now.
I have what?
You have a bunch of non-racists.
I'm
out
not
there
saying
now
they're
that you
non-racist.
cultivated.
I'm not saying that I've meant somebody not being racist, but the conversations what I've had with certain people about certain things, right? When we got to the end of it,
They were trying to get away from your ass. So they had to talk about it
because they were embarrassed, they felt stupid, and they realized they were flat out wrong about the conclusion that they came to. They're wrong about the
went back
conclusion.
to what they were doing before.
No, that's the point. They do not go back to what
Right.
they were doing before because you had an open, honest.
Data.
Yeah, I've had some people go, okay, you're right. After
So they
long
can get away from
discussion,
your ass.
no, whatever. They still
Eric,
said,
Eric,
okay, you're
Eric,
right.
What do you think that we can do as a people to help make the world a better place?
I lived on the edge of fear all the time with my father. I lived in a place where I thought he wouldn't kill me, but I wasn't quite sure. Changed my behavior, changed the way I thought.
Okay, so this is what I'm asking you to do. That's your reality, right? And this, and the man you are. Let's look at Eric Grant. Not only is he the mayor of Howard, but he's been doing, and
I'm so glad you brought that up because he hates it.
No, listen. You're actually a good dude. You're really a good human being. Eric Grant is a good human being. Shut the fuck up when I'm trying to compliment you. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do.
You got attitude? No, a lot of bass in your voice. A lot of bass in your voice.
You need to learn to accept compliments.
Don't worry about me. I'm
worried
grown-ass
about
man.
you because
Don't worry about me.
I don't give a fuck if you are a grown ass man or not. You got a wife, a beautiful, wonderful wife. You got amazing kids, but you need to shut the fuck up right now and listen to what I'm saying.
You think I don't fight girls?
That's the scrappy Michelle, y'all.
I forgot when I was angry.
Hold on. Let me get my tickets together. Let me get my ticket. I'm selling wolf tickets now. Let me sell these tickets.
But you don't understand. There is a process in terms of what it means to be, for us to be together as human beings. I'm talking about all of us, not just Black people. But we have got to. That's really bad, and I'm gonna go now.
Time to wrap.
I had an end, but you interrupted me. Listen.
She forgot what she was going to say mid-sentence.
Yeah, I did forget. I did forget. But listen, Eric is so confrontational. Should I use that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that you recognize
But there's
that
not
yourself.
sometimes
But what I
you
say
don't
to
have
you
to
is
be.
you don't change the world.
I'm not always confrontational. I'm
Okay.
confrontational with people who need to be
Okay,
confronted.
but
Okay.
what
go
do
with
you
that.
say
I'll go
about
with
Richard and I? You guys get involved in conversations that I would never have with other people. These conversations about, black and white and, Republican, Democrat. You say, I wouldn't have those conversations.
He does.
I'm not in.
He does.
I'm
I ain't
not,
about to talk to them people, some crazy people.
and what I'm
They
saying,
don't talk to me.
what I'm saying
I give
is
them
because
confrontation.
this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to say. We can't change the world if we are looking at it as a battle. I'm not saying it's not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if we approach it differently in let's learn from each other. I know what you're going to say.
I see the value in both of your approaches.
Shut up.
We don't have
No.
to be antagonistic.
Yeah. No, listen.
Conciliatory.
Listen.
What do you mean?
I can hear the music though. I can
Is your
hear
music
I can
playing?
hear Beverly
Are you
Mays.
saying and we can't hear it?
Yeah, I can hear what's his name? What's his name? Beverly and Mays. What's his name? Beverly. What's his name? Frankie Beverly and Mays. I can still hear it. But anyway, I see the benefit of both approaches because I think that no single approach works for every situation. So sometimes I'm down with Eric's approach of scorched earth, and sometimes I'm down with your approach, Michelle,
Here's the thing.
where it's an olive branch.
Right, but Eric always wants to burn shit down.
Hey, listen, that works for him.
And I feel like he looks at me judgy because I'm like, we are the world.
Okay, so you know what? So we'll call this the golden triangle. How about this?
That's the language that they speak.
I understand that, but not all of them do. Not all of them do. Not all of them do. Not all of them do.
I don't believe it. I will not believe it.
Yeah.
Violence is not.
No, he's right about some of them. And for those, I believe scorched earth.
But there are more of us that want,
But he's not talking about us. He's talking about them. And so this is what I'm saying. For the people that only understand scorched earth, I'm all in on going scorched earth. On those that, out of their ignorance or they're not very confrontational or they have this passive aggressive whatever, I meet them where they are. So if you even want to pretend like you're having a decent conversation where you're trying to slide digs in between, I'll do that too. I just meet people where they are. Whether it's scorched earth, it's not for me. So, like I said, and that's my approach. My approach is meeting people where they are. Hers is rainbows and kittens. Yours is scorched
You know
earth.
what, Adrian? No, that's
Okay.
not true. Now, let me
Fine.
tell
Make it quick so you don't pee on
I'm
yourself.
gonna.
She forgot she had to pee.
I forgot I had to pee, but I can pee because my vagina is telling me I do.
Too much information.
Was that like now we got the vagina monologue going. Now we got the monologue going.
Listen. So when I worked for the church, I was over all of the ministers, meaning lectors, ushers, whatever. So I was over the High Holy Mass ordination, blah, blah, blah. I got an email. He didn't know he was sending it to me, right? So we had a High Holy Mass.
He was trying to send it to everybody but you?
He was trying to send it to everybody but me.
Okay.
We had a High Holy Mass. I sent out instructions for the volunteers because that's what I did. And then he says what he thinks he's saying to the group, but not me. He says, yeah, I was there. I was in the sacristy and Michelle wasn't there. She's never there. And I just had to figure it out on my own. Well, that wasn't true. The first part was true that I wasn't in the sacristy because I was other places. But in terms of his placement, he knew what he needed to do. So what I did was later, I said to him, you didn't think I was where I was supposed to be, blah, blah, blah. I addressed it in a kind manner. That man, I'm still associated with today because I not confronted him because I don't like that language.
See, that's
but what I'm saying is, it's the secret conversations that are the problem, right? It's I don't like her. I feel like she's doing this. I don't like him. I don't like Eric. I don't like drunk ass Adrian. I don't like any of these. So I'm going to work outside of what the group chat is talking about so I can do whatever I need to do. My point is, if you engage those people without them knowing that change can occur. I still am in conversations with that person today. I sent him an email and talked about it, and we talked about it. I really do believe that we can change the world
So
one
does he still
conversation.
talk about people behind their back?
I don't know if he does. All I know
So you don't
is
know if he changed.
he changed towards me.
Towards you.
And my hope is that instance, that situation helped him look at those other situations in a bigger way.
So your conversation made him say to himself, I'll never talk about anybody behind their back ever again.
Or maybe not. Maybe I won't make the assumption that this person is a bitch, because that's what he was saying about me. Oh, she's such a bitch. She's never here, blah, blah, blah. And then when I had a conversation with him, he was like, yeah, that wasn't true. I didn't know
But
you.
if he's still walking around thinking that Adrian is a thief because he's black, we haven't solved anything.
But maybe the conversation that I had with him
Why
will
you gotta
make
be a
him not
thief?
think
You know
about
you
him
are.
being a thief is my point. My point is, if you don't, everybody does bad, awful shit in the dark, right? You and I are having a conversation, Eric. We're talking about, I don't know, so-and-so. Like they're a motherfucker, they're a whatever. This person finds out that you and I are having this conversation. They come to us and say, so, yeah, can we talk about your perception of me? And then the three of us have a conversation. Where does the power come from? It comes from us acknowledging and having a conversation with each other about how to fix that perception.
Yeah, no. Fuck that.
All right. Come out.
It's on and popping. Do it in the.
I'm always alone in my thought process. I'm not okay with it.
She's gonna try to make us feel guilty, which is not going to work.
I don't want you to feel guilty. I just want
I'm
to
always
be
so
heard.
alone in my thought process.
No, that
It's just me.
you are making the assumption that I want you to feel guilty, because I do not.
I don't feel guilty.
I know you don't, because that wouldn't even be an expectation for me. Because listen, I feel like I feel like I know you. I feel like you would not feel guilty. I'm just telling you a story.
I feel guilty if you pee on yourself.
Okay, so I'm gonna go pee.
All right, y'all.